Have you ever stumbled upon something so bizarre and so incredible that it seems like a higher power has made its influence in your life? Well, there might be something to that, and I want to delve into this topic today. It's a little bit strange, and but at the same time, there is underlying logic to it, which I want to point out in this topic, in this video. And I want to begin by saying that in general I am a skeptic, and I don't believe in magical occurrences and all of that. I'm an atheist, although I have some mystic beliefs, but that's another thing. However, in recent years, I discovered that I began to think that there might be something to it. I began to put some trust into the zodiac, and I arrived to a conclusion that it's reasonable that the planets might have an influence on us. However, I am very doubtful when it comes to our ability to decipher these signs. And I think that most people are full of shit and we like to invent. So, on one hand, I believe because they are like massive objects and so they influence everything in the universe because at least in our material realm, everything has a cause and an effect, and it is situated in time. But I think we are limited beings, and we like to use our imagination a lot. So I don't put too much faith in our ability to interpret all these signs. However, when it comes to synchronicity, I want to shed a light around the interactive and interactive and relational aspect of it. And what I mean is the fact that sometimes it seems that we find the right persons in our life, and their appearance is similar to a divine intervention. And that's very strange and contradictory because it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. And it appears that it follows a contradictory law, because I'm sure that often you discover that the person that you desire the most doesn't want you, you know. That's the backwards law, and I am more prone to believe in it because I've seen it at work more often. But at the same time, it can happen that when you need someone, you send that energy, there is a deep vibration within you, and other people, being emotional and following their intuition, and reading your non-verbal clues, of you which you are not always aware, and they are also not aware of the fact that they are decoding your unconscious signs, you can meet the right person, regardless of the area or the purpose that you might have, or you both might have. It might reflect on your love life, and when you deeply struggle to find a partner, you find what you meet someone. Although when it comes to love, I think that in order to attract the right person, you have to learn how to be self-sufficient. And human relationships, when it comes to procreation, are very complex, and a lot of times if someone feels this deep wanting, longing within you, they interpret it as a bad sign, so they stay away from you, or they just do not cherish your attention because you are overwhelming them with it. And it is said that it is a healthy sign of mature human being if he or she is able to appreciate those who give them unconditional love. And that's a very fascinating aspect of human behavior. But because we have that inclination to not give enough credit to those who believe in us. So, as I said, when it comes to that, synchronicity can function sometimes backwards. However, as I said, it might work for you. And I don't know what are the exact reasons behind him, but I guess, as I said, because primarily we are functioning based on our subconscious and emotions, you find the people who are meant for you. And it is very interesting to observe this manifestation when it comes to artists, even the most famous, because they were not always as well known as we see them. For example, the rapper Eminem, for whom I have a lot of admiration, considering him lyrically amazing and who inspires me a lot with his word choice. Well, he struggled a lot during his early career until he found someone who would be able to discern his talent, his amazing talent. He didn't have an easy breakthrough, despite his immense talent, and despite the recognition that he got ultimately thanks to the help of Dr. Dre, without whom he wouldn't be as famous as now. when everybody acknowledges his prowess and lists him among the best, if not the best, in his field. But at that time, it was difficult for him to make a breakthrough, and he was struggling to feed his family. And he went to a lot of auditions and was sending his tapes to a lot of producers. And most of them didn't give him enough credit and were not able to see the incredible potential lying within him. And at that time, Dr. Dre was also searching for an artist to collaborate with, for a truly talented artists, to create something together. And they were both hungry. So I think this is a great example of when synchronicity works. And it's both a product of luck and hard work. Because if Eminem didn't do his job well and hadn't he tried a lot of times to send his tapes to a lot of producers, Eminem, Dr. Dre wouldn't have encountered his music, which is also good, by the way. His first album, Infinite, is incredible. I find it very good. But it's not always easy for someone talented to get recognition and get noticed. There are countless examples of genius writers whose talent was recognized only after their death or when they were old, or after struggling a lot of times, a lot of times. And that's a testament that in this universe everybody cares for himself, but at the same time there are rare occurrences when you meet someone meant to help you, and these cases are very rare. And I want to also point to the fact that a lot of people can misuse this idea, because when you think that random people can help you and that there are divine events meant to happen only to you, there are the ones who have bad intentions and want to lie to you and scam you. That's a very common thing in our day and age. By the way, I've been scammed once by a woman who said that she liked me and loved me. And, I was naive and I believed her. And if you are on social media where your persona is viewed by a lot of people, you are constantly under target. And more often than not, these people show to you a lot of signs that would make you gullible and to trust them. And you shouldn't. And I believe that you should be reticent and very careful, because those who have truly well intentions, who are well intentioned towards you, are very rare. And oftentimes, if they are truthful, it's because they accept some reciprocity from you, which is something good, not condemnable. But I think you should pay attention to that and not trust everyone on the internet, even when you think that there is some divine synchronicity which would make or help your desires to manifest. Because that's true to some extent, and a lot of times your energy, which is fueled by your longings and your desire to materialize your dreams, can inspire other people and make them help you. But a lot of times it's dangerous, and you have to be careful, because the world is a jungle. However, you must also be open and ready to accept new people and open your mind, even if you are under the risk of getting hurt ultimately, which is okay, because life is a mix of suffering and pleasure. But at the end of the day, you're still getting the experience and you are still spending some time with someone. So that's okay. You can't be always on your guard. That's also a bad thing. I think it's worse to be too gullible and have the risk to be duped by other people than to constantly be under pressure and expect others to attack you and fool you, you know, because that makes you very tense, and fear blocks your mind and you cannot think straight. So I think, I believe it's more advisable in case when you are someone who likes the extremes, you know. But the perfect advice will be to situate yourself somewhere in between, you know, which is extremely difficult. I agree. And it's also very up to discussion, because you don't know where this middle ground is. Life is not a math formula or a drawn line, and you cannot really find this sort of middle ground. But you know, ultimately, you need to learn how to trust your intuition, which is, you know, a kind of way to communicate with your higher self, or the universe, or God if you want, depending on which belief system you have, because our intuition is the best advisor. And by intuition, I don't mean our penchant to listen to our emotions, because even when con men try to fool you, there is something in you telling you that something is wrong here. And I noticed that. But the thing is that we are too caught in our day-to-day activities, so we don't pay attention to this small signs that are not visible to the naked eye, or at least not to our conscious mind, you know. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say about synchronicity. And I wanted to, as a final story, I wanted to relate it to my life. And I want to share a story just in short. And telling you that I struggled a lot of time to obtain a job, and I ended up doing some things that I hated, although I always wanted to be a translator or to have a job in this field, to use my linguistic skills, and I struggled. A lot of people, just rejected me. They didn't recognize my talent, you know. And that felt strange. Why is it that you don't marry me? And recently I met someone, a very intelligent woman, and she noticed instantly that I had potential. So she hired me without actually giving me some actual tests, you know. And that's kind of funny and ironical in a way, because a lot of people just didn't judge me correctly. And I have to tell you that I can be a little bit shy when I go to interviews and when I meet people for the first time. So I understand this. I might be a little bit clumsy, but it's strange because this person is a very intelligent woman. She's also talented. She's actually the owner of the company, not just some HR employee. And it's you know interesting to know that regular people didn't hire me, but she chose to 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 accept me in her team, and treats me with a lot of respect, you know, and looks at me like I was some sort of prodigy, and that this kind of occurrences can make you think, and you are always amazed by life. You never love everything, and it can be very unexpected, you know. But anyway, I'm glad I made this video, although my last posts are not that successful. I don't know why. But I felt like I wanted to do it. And I decided to trust my intuition because usually I post not more often than after a day. So I recorded a video yesterday which I published today. So I felt like maybe I should take a pause today. But at the same time, after returning from work, I was aware of a deep desire to communicate these things, you know. And when you have this, when you enter this type of state, you have to obey it because in these moments, it's the universe that talks through you, and you don't really think about what you say. Your mouth is having its own volition, and you are kind of amazed yourself by what you can express, you know, and that's also something that's uh, worthy of talking about. Anyway, thank you if you made it so far, and be mindful, but also keep an open place deep down in your heart. And even if people deceive you, you should still have some love within you, because otherwise our existence is unbearable, and it's better to be open to some risk, although not extremely. And thank you, and I hope that great things will happen to you. And by that I don't mean extraordinary or unusual, but I wish you to find peace within yourself. If you have someone, that's wonderful. If not, that's okay. You can do it. And yeah, congratulations on bearing with me for so long.